Alrighty, folks, as promised, we are going to keep you along for this health journey of 2025. Once again, Dr. Jeff is back. We will talk about the ORAD event, which he was gracious enough to come spend some time with us, help educate us on things that we could do to get healthy in 2025. He answered endless questions. He was quartered in the parking lot for what seemed like 90 minutes. Love to hear how that went. We can catch you up on some health metrics on my end. We're down 20 pounds now. Yes, 20 pounds. We've just started some testosterone replacement. We'll talk about what that is and what I may or may not expect because never done it before. And yeah, we'll just see what's good. How you doing, Dr. Jeff?
I'm great. Thank you again for having me. And this has been fun, in part because you are doing the work. I think I've heard that before. And you are getting the results. And that's, man, there's nothing better than that. Like here we are. Let's look at it. It's February 24th. You're 2 months, maybe a little extra. You kind of got a little jump start before the holidays, right?
I did.
So you're 2.5 months into it, and you've lost 20 pounds. And you haven't had to massively change what you're doing.
No, I mean, again, I think it's really wild. I did not expect this. I've only changed a couple of things. The biggest thing I changed is I'm walking more and running less. I am physically exerting my body a lot less than I used to, right? My workouts used to be very intense. I used to go for that kind of exhaustion. Like that was like, you did it, right? It was my checkbox. Now, dude, just walking 10, 12, 15,000 steps, it's freaking magic. I don't understand it. It's crazy.
Well, this is the plus minus. On the cardiovascular side, I'm really big on these interval training. These go fast, go slow. I think you've added steps. You're just more area under the curve. So you're just you have that time to do that. You've built that into your life. You've made those choices. You go listen to your podcast or music, and you go disappear. That might be your meditation of sorts.
Exactly.
But most people don't have that or aren't willing to build that in at this point. So until you can sort of semi-retire yourself, you can get in a 15 to 20 minute workout of changing up the resistance on the treadmill, perhaps, or the incline, going fast, going slow, mixing it up, this high intensity interval training. Interval means you're mixing it up. You can get the muscle gains that you want. And when we talk about back to the resistance training component, you can do a great 15 to 20 minute lifting workout, weight bearing workout. And you don't need 3 sets of 10. Again, 1 set to failure. That's where the work is. I just read a paper this weekend because I nerd out all the time on the real work in dementia prevention is done at that last rep, where most of the myokines, those little signaling peptides that your muscles release when they're trying to survive, I'm being damaged, help me. That's where they grow. That's where the brain gets the benefits. That's where the inflammation is suppressed. That's your longevity code, your secret biohack here. So I'd rather you do 15 to 20, maybe 25 reps where you're absolutely like, just go, I'm going to die if I don't do this, as opposed to 3 sets of 10, and you get it done quicker and you get more out of it.
No, absolutely. My resistance training is also completely different. Right? It used to be, it used to be the whole, 10 minutes of warm up and mobility. And then it was 5 sets of 10 or 5 sets of 8. And, it was frankly boring and monotonous. Now going to failure is fun. So I'm obviously 52 heading to 53. I'm older. I'm lifting less weight. So risk of injury goes way down, but the exertion is significantly higher, right? I have done, a set of 32. The old way, I would never even consider going over 12. Like 12 was like a number not to be crossed. And, my workouts now, when lifting probably 4 days a week, I would say they're 18 to, maybe a long one's 25 minutes. It's wildly more efficient.
Yeah, I mean, you could watch the evening news or whatever you like while you do this, and you didn't miss anything. You're multitasking. So 100%. And I think we talked about this early on, but you're correct that in the 50s and beyond, even if we're doing the flexibility work, which is a thing we should work on, we'll come back to that. You can have less injury if you're doing something using a sort of a stretch, a band or stretch system as opposed to free weights. I have no problem with free weights. I like to mix it up, but I have at home those thick stretchy bands. I don't know if we ever got those or put those in the show notes, but they're like 20 or 25 bucks online, Amazon, what have you. And it's very interesting. You think about a bench press as an example. You lay down on the bench and you go, right? And it's kind of easier at the top, and you can almost rest there. Well, you're not doing yourself any favor. You're not. In fact, that's where these injuries happen. Then you let it fall, use gravity. That's not how it should be. So the stretchy bands, you are working, and it is keeping the work uniform across the length of the exercise, because the stretchy bands get harder as you stretch them. So the weight adjusts. So it's like a bench press that gets heavier to adjust for that easiness when your arms lengthen out. And there's no rest. You should not rest. You should be in constant tension for those 15 to 40 reps. Now I say 15 to 40 because if you're going less than 15, it's too much. Go down on weight or go down on the thickness of the band.
We're not doing ego lifts. That's the big thing. No more ego lifts.
Yeah. And you're not, unless you're a champion bodybuilder, that's when you need to do, the pyramid up and then 3 good sets to failure, then pyramid down. You really want the hypertrophy of the muscle. This is muscle mass growing, muscle mass maintenance, longevity. You don't want to walk around where you can't move your arms unless that's what your goals are, I guess. But so anyway, I'm a big fan of these stretchy bands. You can take them on a walk with you.
Yeah.
And you could do a set of bench press. You can hold one down here and do a set of biceps. You can hold one over your head and do a set of triceps. You can do a bunch of things. You can stop and do squats, get some exercise snacks in during the day, where you just got to get up out of this chair and do 10 squats every 45 minutes. There's a study that shows that exercise snack is better than going for the walk. But your walk is good for other reasons, cardiovascular, mental, etc. But back to flexibility. Make sure you are doing, especially as we get older and drier, you're doing the flexibility work, stretching. Again, I love to get some yoga in. I went to my favorite yoga class that you and I did last night or yesterday afternoon, my favorite Sunday sleepy time yoga, where we just stretch for an hour and change.
Yeah.
And then nap at the end. Who doesn't like that?
There you go. Well, I do have a question for you. I get the resistance training 3 or 4 days a week, but I want to poke at this interval training again. You've talked about it a lot. I haven't asked this. Shame on me. How often would you like someone, myself, obviously in this case, but others, to think about interval training? Is this like a 2 times a week? Is it an everyday thing? How often do you want us to really push that on-off interval training?
I mean, listen, most of us struggle to get to the gym and spend time at the gym or whatever, or maybe get on the treadmill at home that's collecting, clothes in the bedroom. So I would, every time you get on there, I would do an interval. It can be a 15 or 20-minute interval. I mean, whether it's you only made it 3 times a week, or you can do it every day, as opposed to just, I'm going to go run 3 miles on the treadmill. You're getting a lot more out of that interval than you are. And if you got, I got 15 minutes. What should I do? Should I run at a 4.0 pace? No, you should set that treadmill at a high incline and walk while you're getting more muscle use out of your legs, or mix it up. I mean, the interval is you get a little muscle work, you get a little cardiac, you get a little faster here, you get a little slower. So you and I use some equipment at the gym that actually has that as a program. You can just push, I'll do a high intensity workout and it says, how much time do you have? Okay, I'll do a 20-minute. So some of the newer equipment has that. It's fantastic.
Okay. So that's something, a note to self that I need to ramp up. I was doing 4 days of kind of resistance and 2 days of intervals. I'll work more kind of purpose-built interval training going forward. Okay.
Yeah, and you can do it on your walks too.
Yeah.
You can, if you're so inclined, you could sprint a block and walk for 4. Sprint the block. Well, I mean, you could you could do it as part of your current ritual without changing much, because you
Correct.
love to go outside and get that time
Yep,
during
with the
the day.
sun
So,
and all that. Yep.
yep.
Yeah, I will probably do something like that. I'll sprint for 30 seconds and walk for 4.5 minutes or whatever. Kind of set my phone up to do that. Yeah. Okay.
And what I'd like to do actually with you is let's look at your HRV today, and let's and maybe we add a bunch of those interval trainings and we see if we can get that to pop, because I think that'll help your HRV.
Yeah. So I don't think HRV is going to be great. I've actually was down and out the last week. I got really sick the last 6 or 7 days. So my activity was off, sleep was off. It was just, I was deathly ill for 6 months or 6 weeks or 6 days. Wow. Geez, 6 days. So where's HRV again? Is that in sleep on the Oura Ring?
I'm not super familiar with the Oura app, so but you can also pull it out of your.
Oh, is it on my phone? Okay.
Your app. If you are an Apple Watch and Oura communicates with your phone, you can go to the Health app in your Apple Watch. Yep. Sorry, on your iPhone. For those of you on iPhone, sorry. And then it's under Show All Health Data, which is nearly at the bottom of the first screen.
Yep, I see it. Yep.
Then you scroll. Heart rate variability. There it is. Kind of midway down. And then it'll tell you your average. You can go week, month, 6 months, year.
It's not showing up for me on my phone.
So it's possible there's some connection between the Oura Ring and the Apple Watch and the iPhone you need to make. I don't know, but
yeah. Okay. Well, because I know we have yeah. Let me just look back on the Oura Ring because I know we found it before.
Okay.
It was on the reports, as I recall. My health.
No worries.
But go ahead and ask me another question, and we'll.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you about your skin. Remember, we said you have sensitivity to products, and you went with the olive oil. Okay, you went anoints him with oil, and how did that go?
It's great. Yeah, it's something I do in the evenings now as a ritual post shower. It's kind of weird rubbing it on your face, but no irritation, which is obviously my big thing. So yeah. Pretty good.
Good. Okay. And do you find any improvement in your skin quality? Or, this is a question we might ask your wife.
Yeah, I probably ask her.
You noticed your skin better.
I'll have to actually ask her. I would say it's, I don't know if looser is the right word. Because again, as a guy who has had, I don't know what they call it, rosacea or whatever the heck they call it.
Yeah, rosacea. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever that is. My skin is always tight around my cheeks and forehead because that's where the cream got rubbed. It's definitely looser. Which I would say is so I found the HRV in the Oura Ring. Okay. It's going to be horrible for this week. It was only 26 because I actually didn't do anything for 6 days. I was in bed or on the couch.
How about the week before?
Let's see. The week before.
Although you did look like you were running around a little bit ragged when I saw you at the event because you were doing a million things and not sleeping well.
So 83, or no, that was my readiness score. No, 55 was the average. What was the peak? Looks like the peak was a 71.
Okay. So this is very interesting. Let's use this as a lesson for us. Did your HRV start to dip down before you reached your full sickness?
Yeah, it's funny. I got a warning on my phone the Sunday that said your body temperature is higher than normal. Be careful. And I'm like, oh, it's just reading my stress from the event. And then the next it was really weird thinking back that my phone told me I was about to get deathly ill. Yeah, it did fall. Yeah, it did fall the 2 days before.
Let's look at this. This is very interesting. This is sort of, HRV is very sensitive and can tell you in advance when your body is starting to feel like a virus or something, and your body hasn't fully had all the symptoms and the sickness yet, but the virus is in there, right? And you got the early warning. That was your cue to start taking a bunch of vitamin C or zinc and echinacea and get extra sleep and, get in the hot sauna and do all the things. So this is that early warning says like, the earthquake's coming,
right?
Get all this stuff off the shelves, whatever. So this is the
I should have loaded up the bazooka and just flooded my body with goodness.
Correct. You're already
I
doing a
didn't
good
know that.
job, but we can help blunt these things.
Huh.
You know.
Okay.
So this is important, especially when we have experienced a pandemic and are being warned all the time. Oh, there's a new COVID. There's a monkeypox. There's a H1N1 bird flu coming, and it's crossing over species into humans and all this. So you need to be ready to fight those pathogens better than your average bear.
Yes.
I mean, that's what you need to do. So this is an early warning system. And
it worked. I actually told Olivia, I was like, I'm shocked my phone told me I was about to get sick. Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's very funny you say, I have this sleep app I told you about, because I'm converting to a Ring, and I don't have that data yet. My sleep, I don't like my phone under my pillow, too much electromagnetic field. So I have it over on the nightstand a little bit away, and it listens to me sleep, and it calculates if I snore or if I cough or if I talk in my sleep. It now can tell me how deep I'm sleeping. I don't know, by some kind of patterns in the red. This is all big data, learning about patterns, right? Everything in life is pattern recognition. Just like you're looking at the best real estate rentals, what's the pattern? Where do we go? What's the best metrics here? Cap rates, all that. So my app is sort of a socialized mass source. So anyone using that app, we're sharing one piece of data, and that's coughing. And they have a cough map. And I can look at the cough map. And if in here in greater Las Vegas area, it has a cluster of people, like if people are getting sick in North Las Vegas and it's working its way down the east side, it's coming over to Henderson.
Wow.
I can start to take preventative action. So it's like a crowdsource. That's what I wanted to say. It's like a crowdsource of information. They don't share who it is, who's coughing, but you can see the cough map, coming, and you participate in the cough map if you're sick. I should pull it up because it's absolutely cool, and they keep adding more information to this thing. Cough radar, they call it.
That's interesting. Okay.
So I'm gonna I don't know if this will show.
But
there's Las Vegas. The red is where people are coughing, so people are sick. And then the blue is where they're not coughing. So that's the cough map.
So you can watch that
morning
over 24 hour, like over the next several days, it'll change.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know how they update it, like how frequently. This says February 24th. So that's today. So maybe it's
today. Yeah.
As of people waking up in the morning in this area. So, and I can look at the cough map of other places too. So I can tell you people are coughing in St. George, Salt Lake City's got a bunch of coughing. So,
that's amazing.
Anyway, so that's a cool feature. So anyway, I think Oura Ring might do that. I'm going to study the Oura Ring more. And of course, I told you I'm looking into this other ring called Velia.
Oh, look at you.
Which I'm wearing the sizer today to see if that size works for me. So
cool. Very, very cool.
Okay. Well, I'm glad your skin is better, because when you did come in, you had some dryness, and I imagine you've always had that because you haven't been able to use products.
Correct.
And you can use that on your face. You could use it on your hands, because our hands show aging, and you don't want to look like old hands. You can use it everywhere. I mean, this is, for thousands of years, people were using olive oil as a moisturizer. So I
had no idea. There you go.
Ancient Egyptians, so.
There you go.
All right, let's talk. So you got the testosterone going. Let's talk about that. And that was delayed that's on me, but you did get it, and you're starting out. Okay.
Third morning this morning.
Okay.
So I don't really know what to expect, when to expect it, but applying it, like you said, left shoulder, washing hands using paper towels, throw away to protect.
Good. Okay.
Lydia and the pets.
It's too early to even ask you. It's too early to do labs. We need to get you 30 days of this. And again, we may tweak the dose and all that. So, but everything's going well. Compositionally, maybe, do you have access anywhere in your exposure to one of those in-body machines that you and I used?
No, not a sophisticated one. No.
Okay, we'll find one for you, because I want to do some metrics here maybe in a month or so
Sure.
Even if we have to go back to the gym, if they'll let us do another guest pass or something, we can do that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about adding some supplements. A lot of people at your event were interested in all the supplements we take. And the supplements we will offer you might be different than we offer someone else. So I gave everyone the 5 anti-inflammatory starter ones, and we can put that back in the show notes if you want.
Sure.
And again, at night, that's magnesium and melatonin. During the day, it's vitamin D, it's omega-3s like a fish oil, and a probiotic. Those 5 are an easy way to start an anti-inflammatory routine. Of course, we've got you on multivitamins and a few other things that we needed. But I look back at your labs, and I think we can add some.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Should I take notes, or are you going to send me a text with these? Just so
I'm happy to send you an email, and you can put them in your show notes and stuff like that.
Got it.
And I can send you links to where you can get them, and like on Amazon. So again, this doesn't have to be you don't have to spend Brian Johnson money to get Brian Johnson results. Okay. So that wasn't a dig on Brian Johnson. I mean, he's pushing the envelope.
I don't have Brian Johnson's money, so it's okay. It was not a dig.
Well, you're let's change that narrative. You're just not there yet.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Now, you might remember that your ApoB was a little bit elevated. That's a protein that binds cholesterol. And I said, we'll come back to that later. It's time to come back to it. And even though you're taking a multivitamin, I want to add a super B complex.
Okay.
Which is a bunch of B vitamins. Now, if you follow 10X Health and some others, some people say we should do this genetic testing to see if you can methylate convert certain B vitamins. But if you take the B complex, you're getting the Bs that are going into your pathways somewhere. So I don't think we need to do that for everybody. So I'm going to find a super B so we can add B to you. This is all the different Bs, and Bs are very mitochondrial friendly. We talked at one point about making sure we not only take care of your cells for health and longevity, but we take care of your mitochondria, so the cell within the cell. So that will be one thing there. The other thing we'll add is niacin, which is kind of a B9, unless I can find a super B complex that's heavy niacin, because niacin is a great way to help reduce any misalignment in the cholesterol family. So the other thing we'll add is something called red rice yeast, which helps bind up cholesterol in your gut and carry it through you. And that's just, these are over-the-counter supplements. And then we'll add some berberine because it does help reduce ApoB numbers. And berberine is like metformin, so it's going to help reduce your cellular exposure to sugar. Not that I'm worried about you and sugar. But if you remember, I think your HbA1c, which is sort of an indicator of your cellular exposure to sugar and your insulin response, was 5.6. I would love to get you down a little bit lower. Not that you need there, but I think it would help give us some room to run. I think I'd also like to order a few labs from that same website, a la carte, like repeat your homocysteine level, which was elevated, and that's a measure of inflammation. We can check your folate, which is the B9. I said niacin is B9. I'm wrong. Folate. So we'll find a folate heavy. And I want to check your vitamin D. Remember, that was low.
Okay.
And we can do those a la carte. It might cost you, I don't know, 20 or 30 for each of those. Spend $100. You pay online and you take it to Quest or wherever you want to go, and they'll get us the results. So we could check a few things, tweak you along the way. And these are easy adjustments while we add to your supplement stack.
Okay.
Now that you're used to taking supplements, you have a ritual. I don't know how you put them out for the day. I do the little baggies.
I got those.
Little Ziploc baggies, and then you can get those on Amazon. And then that's
the only thing I'll need from you is, because right now the ritual is some in the morning, some at night. So I'll need you to tell me, hey, take this in the morning, this at night, or both. That just to keep the routine going, that would be helpful.
I don't want to add too much in the morning because you're like me, you're an intermittent feeder. So you have your coffee in the morning. You don't want to take too many pills. Your stomach's going to go, what is this? So I'm a daytime guy. I like them with food, so I'll take that with lunch.
Okay.
Or I'll start after lunch. Lunch is my breakfast, though. And then I will, just like you, I will sort of graze on those, So it's not this chore. Over during the afternoon, maybe over an hour or two,
Okay.
depending on how fast I take them. So, because no one wants a stomach full of pills on an empty stomach. I mean, it just makes you feel yucky.
Yeah.
We say pills,
Okay.
but these are a lot of these natural. But when you eat them with food, they get digested well.
Okay. Got it.
So those are some things I can push you on. Why don't I open up to you? I've consumed this podcast. So, how are you progressing on your plank time and your hang time and those things?
I need to retest them. Yeah.
Okay.
I need definitely hang time. I haven't planks. I'm doing ab workouts 3-4 times a week. I'm not doing the daily plank. The adding the second. It was. I didn't find it fitting my routine very well. So I need to because it. Yeah.
Yeah. My way is to sneakily get you up to where you had these wonderful hang times and plank times and get the pull-up numbers up and that kind of thing.
Well, I got to imagine the pull-up numbers already going up. You drop 20 pounds of body weight. It's got to help, I would think. But yeah, I haven't tested those things. I have to. I've never been a great evening routine guy.
Yeah.
Right. So I need to find a way, to have an evening routine. Like shutting the phone down, maybe doing the plank, at that time. It needs to become part of a habit, I think. And I haven't gotten there yet.
Well, let's design a nighttime routine for you. Where do you think your biggest challenge is?
Well, I'm really good at when I go to bed. I'm in bed and likely asleep by 10:30 at the latest, probably 10:15 most days. So I know where the end is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the wind down, right? So, I need to basically, so right now, so before I go to bed, right? So it's, you've already helped me flossing, right? So I floss now. That's part of the evening routine.
I love it.
So I need to get perhaps better at kind of setting an alarm at 9:30 or something where I start some semblance of a evening routine. Perhaps I'm just thinking about that. The other thing I'm not great at is journaling, right? I was pretty good at it the first couple of weeks, but it's just not normal to me to kind of write.
Well, the more data we have to track, the better. By journaling, I don't mean writing down your ideas and stuff. That's a different type of journaling. You get up in the morning, you manifest it, and that's fine too. But I'm talking about tracking how many pull-ups can I do? And you might say, I'm just going to track that weekly or monthly, to make it less of a chore. But we can script out a nighttime routine for you. That's not a problem.
I would do much better with the checklist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just how my brain works, I guess.
Let's do this. Since we're pushing up against the time limit here, why don't we? You and I can do this in between. Why don't we set some parameters and we'll build a routine. And by the time we come next time, we can talk about it. We can and put it into practice and talk about like how much time do you want to dedicate to it? What elements do you want it to have? Do you want to relax? Do you want, is it calming down your brain from the day of activity? Where do you take your melatonin in that time frame? And we'll figure out how much you want to invest in it time wise. Do we need to get one of the brain tap or brain wave devices to put you in the right frame? Do we listen to an app like on Spotify called Headspace, where it just relaxes you? Yeah. Something like that. We can do different things.
Yeah. It's that's one of the things that I'm lucky to be in is I don't go to bed stressed. I don't I fall asleep remarkably easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't need help unwinding, but it doesn't mean I can't have a more structured kind of last hour, if you will.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
we can. We want to look at the goals because we're not going to put something into action unless it has an outcome for you. So we're already doing. You're doing great, by the way. If I didn't make that clear, I mean you've lost the weight. we're working on body composition, which just by losing fat, your muscle goes up, but we want to build muscle too. So I want you to add those pull-ups. That's a great way to build some muscle. Do those planks because the planks, remember, work your transversus abdominis muscle, the muscle that goes crossways.
Yeah.
Not your showy ab muscles, the ones behind it. And that strengthens your diaphragm and your breath work, and full breaths using your lungs. That's important. But you're getting that when you do your exercise. So some people, I need to do actual breathing, nighttime, maybe 10 close your eyes, 10 slow breaths, building on that. That's a big thing. We can build a plan for you. We'll do that offline and bring the successful plan to everyone, but everyone's plan will be different for a nighttime ritual. And then I did want to say again, thank you for allowing me to, join your community. And
that was fun having you there. I took a risk. Yeah, it was fun. I'm a guy who puts on a real estate event, and I'm bringing on my doctor to talk about getting healthy. That was a risk, but the audience absolutely loved your flow. Loved the fact that you gave stuff people could do that, frankly wasn't costly. It was just, it was basically free, and you just packaged it up. So it was easy to digest, even though you used some really big words. You always tied the big words with like what really happens to us. So the audience loved you. And then you saw the result. I had to move you outside because you guys were so loud.
Yeah, we got kicked out for being rowdy, for sure. No, it was a wonderful response. We had a lot of great questions. People were had some interesting, challenging issues, and we talked a little bit about that. And so it was fun. It kept me busy the whole afternoon, and then.
You had a podcast. I heard Dana got you in the podcast room.
Yeah, you right into your booth there, and we did a nice recording, and then it was a full day. It was a full afternoon for me. So thank you for that. Hopefully that was useful. If there's anything anyone didn't get a chance to ask, please don't hesitate to reach out as a value add for Michael Zuber's one rental at a time. We're happy to answer any questions and talk to people. Yeah. And
just so you know, this my team is actively chopping up all the material. I will share with you, Dr. Jeff, the podcast if your team wants to chop it up, and also your presentation. Hopefully in another week or so.
Yeah, thank you very much for allowing me to do that. Sorry I had so many slides, but I think we got through.
You freaked me out. 82 slides. Oh my God. But you did it. Yeah, you made it work. You made it work. So I stand corrected. You got through most of them. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, they were meant to stimulate and provoke. I probably should pare it down a little bit.
Just a little.
This was the debut of that particular speech. Speaking,
now, I'm curious, if you were to really go through it is that like a 2-hour talk, a 3-hour talk?
It was meant to be a 45 to 60-minute talk.
Okay.
Some of those are just like little quotes and things to provoke, but I could pare it down. The information, this isn't a course. No one was supposed to, take a quiz on this. This was meant to provoke and make people think about something that they may not be thinking about. It's like, hey, I work very hard. I look at the details of every real estate deal. Everything's a business plan to me. I look for return on investment. I go to the doctor, I get my yearly labs or exam, but what am I doing for longevity? What am I doing above and beyond that? What are my goals, not just my needs? We can treat your medical desires. Your health insurance barely treats your medical needs. So you've succeeded. You're working towards great success economically for your family, for yourself, for those goals. But what about, you want to be around to enjoy it? So I was trying to provoke that.
You did, and you did a great job.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, very cool. Well, it was a lot of fun having you there. We'll have to have you back next year. Dr. Jeff, any closing thoughts?
Keep moving. If you do anything today, get up from your desk. As soon as you are done watching this broadcast, get up, give me 10 squats, and do that every 45 minutes. And that will make you live longer. Get a hot sauna. That's a great one. And not the infrared. It just doesn't get hot enough. Not that I'm against like the red light therapy. I am for that. We need you to get 175 degrees for 20, 25 minutes, 5 days a week.
There you go. Dr. Jeff, you're amazing. Take care.
Thanks, you too.